on? Guess who's back? It's Kamish. Back here with week 13 flex, last week of the regular season, guys. It's gonna be very exciting to watch to see how some of these games turn out. Basically, this week I'm only gonna preview 6 games, 2 of them briefly. Reason being is because I just want to preview the games that are worth something, and the other ones, well, better luck next year. First one I want to preview is Luke and Too Good for a Name versus Brandon and Deflator. Deflator 7-5, Luke 8-4. Luke's already beat Deflator by 82 points earlier this year. Obviously, can't lose this one, Luke. But you should have no issues winning this one. Deflator, we already know, is out of the league, but it still has playoff implications. But obviously, with your win last week there, Luke, you got the right to play Deflator, and you should get the W here, and I hope you do, because I'd hate to see a team like Deflator in the playoffs. The next one I want to talk about, guys, it's going to be the stinker of the week here early. I'm going to touch on it just to talk heart to heart here with Sean and Dix and Steven and US1, both at 4-8. Look, guys, you guys are original owners here, and this is your 3rd year in the league, and every single year you've had a losing record, and that East Division is the laughing stock of the league, and it has been since its inception. And it's up to you guys, and this is the call from the commission. I have high hopes for you guys. You're both really you're bros in my opinion, but you really need to play better next year. Obviously, I know you're both going to be back, but let's get some good teams in there, and it starts with you guys. It's up to you guys. Next up, we got myself, the Commish Stars versus Robert and Templars, both 9-3. This is for the #1 seed heading into the playoffs. Tail of the tape. I'm going to do tail of the tape here for these games. So at quarterback, unfortunately, I got Mariota on the bye. I have to turn to Matt Barkley in this important game. Robert's got Drew Brees, so advantage Templars. At running back, advantage me. I think with Zeke and his year that he's had, I think I'll always have an advantage there. At wide receiver, going to give the advantage to Templars in this one. Like I say, I have a couple guys on the bye. Rashard Matthews, Corey Coleman. And Templars has Odell, and anytime you have Odell, that's usually a good thing. Tight end, I see it being pretty even here. I have 2 quality tight ends, but so does he, so anything can happen in that one. In the flex spots, I give myself the edge slightly. Obviously, it would probably be more if I had my guys all dressed, but I do have 6 players on the bye, so but I do give myself the edge there. Kicker defense, I give myself the edge just due to the fact right now, as of making this video, Templars didn't have a kicker. And at IDP, I give myself the advantage. I think Khalil Mack, anytime you have him at DL, it helps a lot. So this one's going to be close. Obviously, going to be an exciting one to watch, and we'll see what happens. Next up, we got Lucas and Green Lightning taking on Gwevin and Monsters. Obviously, Lucas must win here, and if he wins, he'll win the tiebreak over Monsters. So you can see how important this one's going to be. At quarterback, it's Wentz versus Luck. You got to give the advantage to Monsters here. Luck will be playing on Monday night too, so he's going to want to light it up on prime time. Running back, they both have 2 key running backs on the bye in this one. Isaiah Crowell for Lucas, DeMarco Murray for Monsters, but I still have to give the edge to Monsters here. He has more depth there, I think. Basically, in the wide receiver, tight end, flex, kicker, defense, I give the advantage to Monsters all the way here. Looking at it, Monsters' lineup is really, really deep. He's got some good names in there. It's surprising that he's actually in this spot where he's in jeopardy of not making the playoffs. So, but he did, obviously, he's higher up in the standings, so he gets Lucas. Lucas, of course, Elshon Jeffrey suspended. He's lost every single game since then as well. And the IDPs, it looks pretty even, but obviously it looks like Monster should win this one. If Lucas wins, obviously that's going to be a huge shocker. Next up, doesn't get any better than this. Deuce Bombers versus Fighting Geese to see who gets in. Deuce Bombers still has a slight chance of getting in if he loses, but it's a must-win here for both. It's a West Division battle. Fighting Geese won the first matchup, so obviously if the win here will win the tiebreaker over Deuce Bombers. At quarterback, you got to give the edge to Geese. I mean, Dak Prescott's just better than Simeon. Dak Prescott obviously having an unbelievable year, and that trade to get him from Steel Curtain might have been the difference for Geese this season. At running back, you got to give the edge to Deuce Bomber. He's got David Johnson, whereas Geese really only has Doug Martin. The rest are filled with depth running backs for both teams. So I give the edge to Deuce just because David Johnson's better than Doug Martin. At wide receiver, I'm giving the edge to Deuce Bombers here too. He's got two young, great receivers in Amari Cooper and Mike Evans that are going to solidify his lineup for years to come. And for Geese, no Terrell Pryor. That's going to hurt. He's on the bye in such an important game. To be missing your best receiver, that's going to hurt. Tight end flex spots, I give the edge to Deuce Bombers here. You know, I'm looking at it. You know, he has Gronk. Anytime you have Gronk, gives you an advantage, and he has the advantage here. Kicker defense, I give the edge to Fighting Geese here, but I had troubles giving Fighting Geese the edge. I think it's just because she has Dustin Tucker as a kicker, and he's always reliable. He always puts up double-digit points each week, it seems. And in the IDPs, I give it to Deuce Bombers, the edge. Obviously, the return of Justin Houston helps. And Fighting Geese has 3 players on the defense on the bye, and one of them is her best linebacker and Chris Kirksey, at least fantasy-wise. And that's going to play a factor. So it's going to be an exciting one to watch. You know, I think it's going to be close, but some of those bye players might hurt Susan this one for Week 13. And then last off, guys, it's the game of the week. It's Brian in the 12th man versus Joshua and Cry Phoenix. Both teams 8-4. This is for the West Division. It's the last division to be decided. And in this one, let's look at the tail of the tape. At quarterback, it's Stafford versus Rivers. I give the edge to Cry Phoenix here, especially since Stafford's playing New Orleans. I think that's going to be a shootout with him and Breeze. Running back, I give the edge to Brian. He's got 3 legit starters in Jeremy Hill, Mark Ingram, and Thomas Rawls. So obviously that's some good running back depth there for Brian. Wide receiver, I give the edge to Cry Phoenix, though. I mean, I know Brian has Julio Jones, but with AJ Green hurt, I just see better wide receivers for Cry Phoenix. I mean, anytime you can start Demarius Thomas, Michael Crabtree, and Willie Snead as your 3 receivers, that's a pretty good wide receiver trio. At tight end, I give the edge to Brian here. I mean, I know Ladarius Green has come back for Joshua, but I think Kyle Rudolph has been one of Bradford's favorite targets. Charles Clay obviously hasn't lived up to expectations, but I do give the edge to Brian here. In the flex spot, I give the edge to Cry Phoenix simply because he has Des Bryant in the flex spot, which pretty much supersedes anyone that Brian would have in the flex spot. And then kicker defense, I give the edge to Brian slightly in this one just because the Vikings defense has had such a good year, but obviously they have struggled lately, and to face the Dallas Cowboys this week, that's going to be tough. And then the IDPs, I give the edge to Brian in the 12th man. That trade to get Quan Alexander late was a good one, and he's got some good depth, good high scores there for the IDPs. So obviously, you can see it's fairly evenly matched. It's going to be an absolute thriller. There's no doubt about that. And it's a must-win. I mean, if 12th man loses this one, he's going to have to hope for help from Monsters and Deuce Bombers. Because if Geese or Lightning win, he's lost to both those teams. And then for Joshua, wouldn't it be nice to be a new owner, come in, and win the West Division, which clearly is the best division in the LOC. Anyways, guys, this is the last week of the regular season. I want to thank you all for a great regular season. For you 4 teams that won't move on from this point, some of you will probably be gone. For the other 2, I hope it's better luck next year. And for the people going into the consolation playoffs, remember that is for the 5th overall pick, so there's something to play for. And then obviously we'll have a great playoff coming up for the championship. I have been working on a great playoff promo video on my computer, but then my computer has crashed, so I got to go get it fixed. I hope it gets fixed in time. It's not on this computer, it's on the other one. So hopefully you guys will get to see that. It's a pretty cool concept that I put together. Anyways, good luck, guys, and we'll see you all on the fantasy field.